Hey guys, what's up? It's your man Pete, and today I wanted to make a video in case you are thinking of selling your home in your condo and you don't have a lot of time, you don't want to do any big renovations, you don't want to make any big changes to your home, but you still want to present it well. You want the property to pop. You want it to stand out compared to all the other properties out there. And of course you want to make it look a little bit more premium right before you put it up for sale. So these are some quick and affordable fixes that you can do in probably a week or even a long weekend if you really compress all the work done together that will instantly bring up the value of your home. And I'm not talking about big renovations and big jobs like kitchens, bathrooms, or even floor. Maybe I'll do that in another video, but we're not going to do that for this one right now. But I assure you, these are things that you can do even by yourself if you're not handy that will make your home stand out to potential buyers. And who knows, you might even fall in love with your home again. But of course, you're still going to sell, and you know who you're going to call to do that. But make sure you stay until the end of the video because the most important item is actually number 5, not number 1. So we'll get right into it right after this, guys. Okay, so you want some quick, easy fixes that will completely transform your home. And you've got about 1 or 2 weeks before the home is actually listed for sale. But you want it to look expensive, upgraded, and premium. So number 1, light fixtures and recessed lighting. To me, there is nothing more important than lighting in a home, and especially during showings and open houses, because almost everybody likes a bright home these days. And natural lighting is obviously the best kind of lighting that you can get. But there's some rooms in the house that are actually lighting challenged, such as basements or certain bedrooms. Depending on the direction that the home is facing, there are going to be some dark rooms in the house. So how do you compensate? How do you fix for that? Well, you put in nicer light fixtures that will actually brighten up the particular rooms that are dark. But more importantly, what you really need to do is get rid of those ghetto 1990s builder basic light fixtures that nobody wants. Like, you could literally throw it out in the trash and nobody's gonna want that, okay? So put in something nice, put in something practical. Like, those really extravagant elk horn light fixtures are probably a little bit too much these days. So while you want to draw attention to a really nice light fixture, you also don't want it to clash with the overall theme or idea that you have going on in your house. Now, if you've got the budget and you've got the time to do it, I would highly recommend recessed lighting, or pot lights as we call them here in Canada. Because not only do they make the room brighter, they also show up better in pictures. So when we're taking pictures for listings and, you know, presenting the property to people online or wherever it is that they're checking out the property, it makes a world of a difference in those photos. And then whenever potential buyers or even myself, I'm showing the clients at the property, it always gives the impression that the home has been upgraded, that something's been done, and we don't have to worry about darkness in the home, no matter what room it is. Bam! It instantly brings up the value of your home. Okay, number 2, and connected to all that lighting, is you want to have dimmers and switches. Now let's be real here. Whenever people go look at the houses, they always want to open cabinets, they want to touch light switches to turn on the lights, they want to see how it feels to live in this property. And touching things happens to be one of those things. And you're always going to touch the light switches. And while you're having somebody put in pot lights or light fixtures, it's not hard to actually have them put in some light switches as well. Or you can try to do it yourself if you're fairly adventurous. And while there are so many smart devices and now even smart light switches, I personally still recommend sort of the regular dimmers that you can touch, the tactileness and the responsiveness of it that you can't replace, because, you know, when you're walking into a home and you're looking at it, you don't have the program settings on your phone to be able to dim the lights. So nice touch, but not really that practical when it comes to selling a home. Just regular touch, dimmers, tactileness, that's all you need. Potential buyer goes into the house and then it doesn't work, it ends up being an awkward situation no matter how smart your device is. So you see, it's a really small thing. It's all these little things that add up that give the impression that the home has been done, that it's been upgraded. Because let's be honest, who doesn't want to move into a house that's already done, that's full of features and functions that you don't have already? It influences your decision. Trust me. Okay, number 3, Nest and other smart home thermostats. At first, when these devices came out, to me, it was just meh, kind of a boring product, right? You know, it's like whoever really pays attention or notices thermostat. I think you've got better things to worry about, like what you're gonna eat for dinner or whether you should tone up your abs today. But I think the winning aspect of these new smart home products, and especially the Nest thermostat, is obviously the design aspect of it, right? You know, it lights up, it's bright, it draws attention to your eye, so then all of a sudden sudden you notice, hey, the home is upgraded with some smart home technology. You'll stare and Google at it for maybe about 10 minutes and then, you're back to your normal life again. But the idea here is it can be done in a few hours. You can either hire someone to do it or you can do it yourself. And this will subconsciously, in the mind of a potential buyer, make it feel like the home is more premium and upgraded. Okay, number 4, faucet heads and door handles. Again, back to the tactileness, right? Like people come into houses and they want to touch and they want to feel, they want to experience what it's like living in this house. And these are sort of the underappreciated things that people don't really notice, right? But as a buyer, whenever you see something new that you don't have or you've never seen before, you're gonna think it's cool and you're gonna remember that property. And while the aesthetic aspect of it is important, it certainly and must actually function well or better than the existing product that you have right now. I think the current hot trend right now for kitchen faucets is the gold ones because they just look so nice with a marble countertop or even a farmer style kitchen. And like the Nest thermostat, it just draws your eyes and attention to this thing that you normally don't pay attention to. I would also go with a black matte finish as well too, and it definitely must have an extendable hose because again, we're talking about function, right? And if you've got the time and the budget, definitely changing the cabinet handles in the kitchen, in the bathrooms, or even door handles for closets. All of those things sort of add up. But again, it should definitely stay with the theme of the house, the overall grand design. Otherwise, it just stands out too much and it doesn't look good. But there's a local designer here in Toronto named Sarah Richardson who I follow, and her design style is definitely the mix between modern with a little bit of that warm country rustic feel. And she does it very successfully. So I would highly recommend that you pick up her book or check her out on YouTube. She's got a lot of videos as well. So again, these are really simple things that you can do yourself with just a screwdriver, and it instantly brings up the value in your home. Okay, number 5 and the last thing, paint your walls. This is so simple and so obvious, but you'd be surprised at how many people don't do this before listing their homes for sale. It only costs maybe $1,000 to $3,000 to do, but when you're selling your home, buyers will often pay maybe $10,000 more for a freshly painted home versus if you don't do anything and the walls are not in good shape, they may negotiate $10,000. We're talking about a $20,000 swing here, okay? Where you could have spent a few $1,000s and actually made money. Or if you want that ROI to be even higher, and again, if you're adventurous, then you could always try to paint it yourself. Just make sure you do a good paint job. Otherwise, it doesn't look so upgraded or premium anymore. So it's really important to hide those imperfections and those flaws on the walls because typically when I work with buyers, they can't exactly communicate or identify why they don't like a property. Usually they just say, I didn't like it, it didn't feel good, or it felt not clean. But I have an extreme sharp eagle eye for these types of things, and I notice when the walls are not clean, they're not freshly painted, and they don't look good. And the reason why this is important is because everything's at eye level, right? So it doesn't matter how good the staging is, doesn't matter how nice your floors are, doesn't matter how nice your lighting is. Good lighting actually brings out more flaws on your walls. So you want to make sure that you paint your walls, make sure they're clean. Try not to use such dark colors like a dark red wall, even if you really love it. Most people will not really like a dark red wall. And whether the walls are dirty, scuffed up, or have holes in them, they will absolutely influence people's moods and ultimately influence their decision on whether they're gonna buy your home versus someone else's. So what's the key point here, guys? The key point here is effort. You wanna make sure that your home stands out. You wanna make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. And there's certainly ways to work around things like dark rooms with lighting and paint. Invest a little bit and you'll get a lot back. Who knows, maybe you'll get to enjoy your new home just a little bit before you have to part ways with it. And I don't know about all the other agents and realtors out there, but I always encourage my clients to go for homes where they've actually put in the effort to upgrade it and do some work to it. It feels like the seller or the owner cared about the home and it's being transferred over versus being sold. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, subscribe, leave us a comment to let us know if we should do more videos like this. And maybe in my next video, I'll talk a little bit more about the more expensive touches that you can make, sort of the things that you can't do by yourself. You'll probably need to hire someone to do, but they will instantly bring up the value of your property, make it really, really stand out. And hopefully in the process, also drive up the value too. So I hope you guys like this video and thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.